everyone, Pratima here, and I have been daily driving the OnePlus 13 for almost a month now. So far, it has received 3 major updates, especially camera-focused updates, and I think this is the perfect time for me to give you my full experience. Now, if you look at the latest flagships from Samsung and Apple, I think they've been super lazy. You will find very little innovation and they are quite boring upgrades if I'm being completely honest. Which means this is a perfect opportunity for OnePlus to shine, and I feel that's what OnePlus did this year with this phone. In previous years, the gap between the OnePlus flagships to that from iPhone and Samsung used to be quite big, but this year they have closed that gap quite well. Plus, they have not increased the price as well. It still starts at 70,000 rupees, which is almost half the price of the newly launched S25 Ultra and the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And if you look at this comparison between the OnePlus 13 and the Oppo Find X8 Pro, you will see that these two phones are practically the same, except that OnePlus does not have a dedicated 6x zoom lens. But the OnePlus 13 is also like 30,000 cheaper. So yeah, if you're thinking of getting the Oppo Find X8 Pro, just don't. Anyway, with the OnePlus 13, I like the small improvements they have made this year. First of all, we get a proper IP68, IP69 dust and water resistance, which was missing on the last 3 generations of OnePlus flagship phones. There's also this new ceramic guard glass protection for display, which is OnePlus's proprietary tech, but I am not 100% sure if this is more robust than Apple's ceramic shield or Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Jerry Rick says that it still scratches at level 6 with deeper grooves at level 7, so it's nothing new. However, I like the overall design and the hands-on feel of the OnePlus 13. I found it to be very comfortable to hold, and the side curves on the back help with a nice grip as well. It's not as heavy as something as the Vivo X200 Pro, and the weight distribution is fantastic here. I also love this material on the back. OnePlus says they have used the industry's first microfiber vegan leather, which is typically found in high-end furniture and vehicle interiors. OnePlus has also upgraded the fingerprint sensor from an optical one to a more secure and reliable ultrasonic sensor, and I like how fast it is, and the position is also located in a perfect spot. So yeah, overall an A+ in terms of design and build quality. The display of the OnePlus 13 is also an easy A+. In fact, DisplayMate has rated this display an A++ rating. And even in my use, I found this display to be on par with what you get with other flagship phones. It has all sorts of HDR support, there is high PWM dimming, it's super color accurate with a fast touch response, and the display works surprisingly well even if my hands are wet. OnePlus says it's 2nd Gen Aqua Touch, and I found it to be more usable than what we found on last year's OnePlus 12. The OnePlus 13 is also plenty bright for both indoors and outdoors, although it is not as bright as my S25 Ultra or the Pixel 9 Pro XL. Those are slightly brighter outdoors. Regardless, the display experience here is top-notch. OnePlus has paired it with an excellent set of vibration motors, which is one of the things we often overlook. I think this phone has the best haptics alongside the Pixel 9 Pro XL. So typing on this thing and interacting with the UI is so good. I have also observed slightly better tweaks in the speaker department. It has very good loudness with a wider frequency range than what you get from Vivo and even an Oppo flagship. It's not better than the iPhone and Samsung, but close enough. Another best thing about the OnePlus 13 is, of course, the performance. We all know how big of an improvement this new Snapdragon 8 Elite chip brings over last year's Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, but the way OnePlus has optimized its UI and that perceived animation, everything just flows here. For me, this is easily the fastest and the most optimized phone of 2025. There are also plenty of AI features now, which we used to find only on Samsung phones until last year. There's Circle to Search, AI Eraser, and a quick swipe from the right here will open a sidebar where I can use AI Summary, AI Speak, and AI Write. It's quite easy and intuitive. The only thing I wish the OnePlus 13 did when it comes to the software is maybe they could have provided 5 years of OS updates, since we're getting 7 years commitment from Samsung and Pixel. But again, 4 years is not that bad. By the way, the OnePlus 13 has one of the biggest vapor chamber cooling solutions on a smartphone, and I have never found it to overheat or get warm. Even when gaming, I have never seen its thermals reach above 40 degrees even after like 40 minutes of PUBG or Genshin Impact. The average FPS and stability are also so much better now, and by now I mean after all the updates. Especially if you are a pro PUBG player, you will notice that the rendering in tight areas is now almost as good as iPhones. OnePlus 13's battery life is also amazing. OnePlus is working with EV battery tech giant Cattle to bring a silicon carbon battery with high energy density, meaning the 6000 mAh cell on the OnePlus 13 is smaller than the 5500 mAh one we found on last year's OnePlus 12. With this bigger 6000 mAh battery, I am constantly getting like 9 to 10 hours of screen on time versus like 7 to 8 hours I used to get before with the OnePlus 12. Even on days when I am clicking a lot of photos, the OnePlus 13 still gave me like 7 to 8 hours of screen on time. OnePlus also offers a 100-watt charger inside the box, with which it can go from 0 to 100% in just 35 minutes. And even using my 65-watt PD charger from Ugreen, it's not too slow. It can go from 0 to 100% in about 50 minutes. Also, a small announcement, I am coming up with an in-depth battery comparison involving all the flagship phones of 2025, and I know you guys are interested in that, so do subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon. Okay, now let's look at the scoreboard, and here the OnePlus 13 has an A+ design, A+ display, A+ performance, A+ haptics and A+ battery. But how about the cameras then? That has always been like a B for OnePlus flagship phones in the past, but after receiving a total of 3 camera-focused updates, I can rate the photography side of the OnePlus 13 as a solid A-. Yes, it's not quite as reliable as the other expensive flagship phones, but what I can tell you is that OnePlus has put in a lot of energy in making the cameras better this time. Now, if you look at the specs, things might not look particularly interesting because the OnePlus 13 comes with the same Sony LTY-808 sensor and the same ultra-wide camera as before. The only thing that's changed is the 3x zoom lens, which is now a Sony sensor versus OmniVision on the OnePlus 12. As an outcome, the photos I am getting from this new 3x periscope camera are quite impressive, be it the portraits, the 3x zoom shots or macros. They have nice background blur, nice details, and most importantly, good highlight management. I even compared the 3x portraits to the more expensive Oppo Find X8 Pro, which I threw in the dustbin, and to my surprise, the OnePlus's portraits came out quite comparable. The only difference is a little variation in colors, and that's it. Details are actually better on OnePlus. The one thing this 3x camera lacks is that it cannot go too close for those close-range macro shots. Anyway, normal daytime photos from its main camera look better optimized in terms of details, highlights and colors than before. Previously, OnePlus always used to make the photos too bright. So yeah, it looks like OnePlus's collaboration with Hasselblad is finally seeing the light of day. Check out this photo of a leaf and this picture of this cutie cat. I am surprised by how well the fur details are managed here. And the good news is there isn't that big of a difference in color processing from its 3 lenses either. Oh, and the ultra-wide photos also have decent sharpness. Dynamic range and highlights are on point with fairly well-resolved details too. However, there are 3 things I will complain about the photography aspect here. First, the OnePlus 13 sometimes tend to be inconsistent with colors during nighttime. The details are good, the exposure maintenance and all is good, but just the colors get messed up sometimes. Like in this picture where the reds are unnecessarily red. Second is, since it does not have a dedicated 6x lens, 6x zoom photos and beyond that are quite average. Third, I think the selfies could have been better. The colors and dynamic range are pretty decent, but you don't get autofocus here and the details are not that amazing. Other than that, I am more than happy with the camera results on the OnePlus 13. You also get decent videography prowess, at least from the main lens. You can shoot nice videos with decent stabilization at 4K 60 FPS from the rear camera and even the selfie camera. I wouldn't say the ultra-wide videos are very impressive at 4K though. There is a small test I always do to check how good the ultra-wide lens is on a flagship phone. I click nighttime ultra-wide videos at 4K 60 FPS, which as you can see is not the best from the OnePlus 13. Switching from the main to ultra-wide, you can just see how much the details it loses and the videos come out dark and gray. I also found it very strange to see that the OnePlus 13 is lacking some modern-day video features like portrait videos or log videos. So yes, OnePlus has improved the photography side with the OnePlus 13 jumping from B to A-, but the videos are still like a B in my opinion. But despite the obvious disadvantages in a couple of areas, the OnePlus 13 is a solid all-round flagship phone costing almost half the price of regular flagships. It's so good and matured now that I think you should avoid getting the regular S25, the iPhone 16, Pixel 9, and even their BBK siblings like the iQOO 13, Oppo Find X8, or the Vivo X200. So yes, I really think OnePlus has closed the gap with the Ultra and Pro Max this year. Next year, I, however, do want to see OnePlus improve the videography side and bring that 200 megapixel 3.7x Samsung HP9 telephoto lens from Vivo X200 Pro, copy and paste it into the OnePlus flagship, which would genuinely make OnePlus the ultimate flagship killer. Alright everybody, that was all for our very long-term review of the OnePlus 13. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe if you like our content. Saying this, I'm Pratima Adhikari, and thank you so much for watching.